Are you tired of the endless diet advice, the calorie counting, and still not seeing the results you want? It can feel like there's a secret language to food that no one ever really explains, especially when it comes to sustainable weight loss. Well, let's decode one of the most useful concepts out there, the glycemic index. It's a simple idea, but once you understand it, it can completely change how you approach your meals and help you work with your body instead of against it. This isn't about jumping to another diet trend. It's about understanding how food actually behaves in your body so you can make smarter, more satisfying choices. Hi, this is Timo from VFS Diet. With my YouTube channel, I aim to provide clear, accurate and scientifically backed information about weight loss, nutrition and a healthy lifestyle. If you don't want to miss anything, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. So what exactly is the glycemic index and why does it matter? In simple terms, the glycemic index or GI measures how quickly carbohydrate-containing foods raise your blood sugar levels. You can think of it as a kind of speedometer for carbs. Foods are scored on a scale from 0 to 100 based on how fast they cause blood sugar to rise after eating. The higher the number, the faster the spike. To make things easier, foods are grouped into 3 categories. Low GI, which is 55 or less. These are slow digesting foods that lead to a gradual rise in blood sugar. Examples include most vegetables, legumes like lentils and chickpeas, beans and many fruits. These foods help keep your energy steady. Next, we have medium GI from 56 to 69. These have a moderate effect on blood sugar. Think of foods like oats, raisins, sweet corn and whole grain products. And finally, high GI, 70 or more. These are rapidly digested and cause quick spikes in blood sugar. This includes white bread, sugary drinks, refined grains and many processed snacks. The difference between these categories isn't just technical, it has a real impact on how you feel and how your body manages weight. When you eat high GI foods, your blood sugar rises quickly. In response, your body releases a surge of insulin to bring those levels back down. This rapid cycle often leads to what people call a crash, leaving you feeling tired, hungry and craving more food soon after eating. On top of that, insulin also encourages fat storage, which can make weight loss more difficult over time. Low GI foods, on the other hand, create a slower, steadier release of glucose into the bloodstream. This leads to a more balanced insulin response, helping you stay full longer and reducing the urge to snack between meals. That steady energy and improved satiety can make a big difference when you are trying to manage your weight consistently. But there's something many people don't realize. The glycemic index of food isn't fixed. It can change depending on how you eat it and what you eat it with. Several factors influence GI. First, fiber. High fiber foods slow digestion and reduce how quickly sugar is absorbed. That's why whole grains and vegetables tend to have lower GI values than refined options. Second, protein and fat. Adding protein or healthy fats to a meal slows stomach emptying, which helps prevent sharp blood sugar spikes. For example, pairing fruit with nuts or yogurt creates a more balanced response. Third, ripeness. In fruits, ripeness matters. A ripe banana has a higher GI than a slightly green one because more of its starch has turned into sugar. Fourth, acidity. Foods containing vinegar or lemon juice can slow digestion and lower the overall GI of a meal. This means you are not just choosing foods, you are building meals. And small combinations can make a noticeable difference. Now, there's another concept that builds on GI and gives an even clearer picture, Glycemic Load or GL. While GI tells you how fast a food raises blood sugar, glycemic load considers both the speed and the amount of carbohydrates in a typical serving. This makes it more practical for real-life eating. For example, watermelon has a high GI, but it's mostly water and contains relatively few carbs per serving. So, its glycemic load is actually low. In other words, it won't impact your blood sugar nearly as much as its GI only might suggest. GL is calculated by multiplying the GI by the number of carbohydrates in a serving and dividing by 100. As a general guide, low GL is 10 or less, medium GL is 11 to 19, high GL is 20 or more. By paying attention to both GI and GL, you get a more realistic understanding of how foods affect your body. So how can you apply all of this without overcomplicating your life? Start with a few practical strategies. First, make smart swaps. Choose whole grain or minimal processed options instead of refined ones. For example, go for brown rice, quinoa or whole grain bread instead of white versions. Swap sugary cereals for oatmeal or yogurt with fruit. Second, focus on fiber. Fill your plate with vegetables, legumes and whole fruits. These foods naturally support stable blood sugar and help you feel full. Third, combine your foods. Avoid eating carbs on their own. Pair them with protein and healthy fats, like adding nuts to fruit or including lean protein with grains. Fourth, prioritize whole foods. In general, the less processed a food is, the more likely it is to have a lower GI and better nutritional value. That said, it's important to keep things in perspective. The glycemic index is most useful for carbohydrate-rich foods. It doesn't automatically make a food healthy or unhealthy. For example, some high-fat, low-carb foods may have a low GI but still be high in calories and not ideal for frequent consumption. At the end of the day, weight loss still comes down to a consistent calorie balance, burning more energy than you consume. GI and GL are tools to support that process, not replace it. The most effective approach is a balanced one. Moderate calorie intake, regular physical activity, a mix of nutrients, and thoughtful food choices. Understanding how your meal affects your blood sugar simply gives you an extra advantage. Instead of chasing quick fixes, you are building a way of eating that keeps you satisfied, energized, and in control. And that's what sustainable progress really looks like. Now that you understand how to fuel your body the right way, it's time to focus on how to burn that fuel efficiently. Watch my video, Extreme Fat Burning, the 3 best workouts to lose fat fast to find out more. Click the link in the description or tap the video on your screen right now. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content. Your support helps me bring more valuable information to you. I'll see you in the next video.